Welcome back. Welcome back. It's middays with Marcus Maven. 8150 939 is the number. 939 is the station, and people, it just keeps getting better. On Monday mornings, they're like the sports Saturdays, and it just keeps getting better. Steve Rubbage in the building, Brian Hall in the booth.
Awesome watching sports from the moment I left here till last night, where my team was royally screwed on national TV in front of everyone. You all saw it. Don't debate me on it. But anyways, yeah. So it was overall though it was solid, man. It felt good to be watching football again. It felt good to be back into my normal routine, and
Right.
it felt good because my cards are awesome. So
Brian Hall in the booth. Brian, what's going on, my man?
None too much. I'm with you, Steve. I do think that that call last night was a little bit questionable on the offensive pass interference. I'll give you that.
we all three had a pretty piss poor Sunday.
We did, man. The Vikings did not look good, and I'll give them the benefit of the doubt because they didn't have Danilo Hunter and they didn't play Yannick Mbakwe, the guy that they basically had no pass rush the whole time, and the secondary is young, so we'll see. But, yeah, rough day for all of us on
Boo!
Sunday, except for the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson look pretty good.
And not the Lions because
Boo!
Stafford
Damn
was clutch.
who?
Listen,
Boo!
Stafford was clutch.
Who? All of you.
Stafford
looked good.
He hit Swift right in the corner of the end zone there for the game. I mean, I
Oh.
can't believe they scored with just a couple minutes left and won the game. I mean, Swift caught that, right?
Oh my
Oh,
God.
okay, right?
I mean, you do know the client attorney fan, privilege that I can't go down the road of the Detroit Lions because I don't want to make the Detroit Free Press news or anything like that. But my God, Detroit Lions, this can never happen to me again. I can't go through another one of those
It was
ever,
tough, man.
ever again. And you heard it in my voice, Steve. It was brutal.
It was so Sunday was tough. I'm not gonna lie, all three of us, but it was awesome to watch good NFL football all day. Listen, at the end of the day, I felt pretty good about the Cowboys last night. I feel pretty good with them moving forward. I think they're in a good spot. So we'll see how that goes. But Saturday.
Yeah, we were on enough of a high that even our poor Sundays could not be brought down. It just kind of gave us balance, I would say, because
I would agree,
because we were on such a high. Okay, so how long was Saturday to you, Steve?
a while. But see, here's the thing. My son and the Pleasant Grove Dolphins started their season Saturday at 3:00.
Okay.
So my day kind of got broke up. 1-0, by the way. Shout out to the Dolphins getting a dub.
Right.
And so it was my day kind of got broken up because it's like I woke up thinking about Louisville, right? I'm thinking about, okay, all right, like let's see what's going on here. Like, okay, how they're gonna look, blah blah blah. Now I'm watching game day. I'm kind of getting in the mode, and then it was like as soon as the noon game started, I was kind of okay. Now I'm in Elijah game mode. Like, how's he gonna play? You know what I'm saying? So like, my day got broken up. So by the time I got home, I'm watching the end of Notre Dame. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching the end of the 3:30 games. And then it was time. It was game time.
So watching the Saturday games, did your nerves creep in a little bit when you saw like some of the scores and because you watch Saturday, you see what's going on, and you're like, some of these teams that are supposed to be looking really good are not really looking that good, and then you wonder, is the upset bug just going around the college football scene? Was there any of that crept into your head? By the way, 8150 939 8150 939. Feel free to jump in and relive this Saturday with us simultaneously. 3831 939 is the text line. feel free to jump on the YouTube channel. It is up and running at Made for the Ville, or YouTube Made for the Ville. It's all rolling. Feel free to jump in here for
By the way,
all interaction.
I just sent you a meme. Somebody just sent on the text line, was one of the funniest things I've seen in a long time.
Okay, so Saturday, did anything creep in on upset alert?
For Louisville,
Yes.
of course, yeah. Well, for one, it was game day, and then you're watching everyone else in the country come out who people are talking up, and they're looking very lethargic, very sloppy. I mean, UNC comes out, looks like they're not awake until the third, fourth quarter.
Oh, UNC Syracuse.
Yeah, I mean, that one. Then you're watching North Carolina, who was, I'm sorry, Notre Dame, who kind of did the same thing.
With Duke.
They come out, they're playing, and again, now some of these, like I know Duke slows games down. That's why we picked Duke. We'll go over our picks later too, but because they slow the games down like that. I mean, that's how they play, but they still, Notre Dame looks sloppy in different games. Of course, Clemson seem like they're pretty sharp, but they're the best team in America.
Listen,
yeah.
because Clemson has been practicing nonstop. You think Clemson let any of this COVID stuff slow them down?
No, probably not.
They've been practicing full tilt, full on go, because just their fear that somebody else in the SEC might be practicing has probably and they've shown they don't have to go by any of the same rules anybody else does.
So I'm watching all that, and again, we talked about it last week, and my mind doesn't change. While I think Louisville had to beat Western Kentucky and needed to beat them by about what they beat them by, maybe we'll get into the semantics of the game,
right?
But in a second, we still knew this Western Kentucky team is good. They're a good team. And macro, after watching them, I would be surprised if they lose more than one or two games for the rest of the season.
No, listen, not just you, not just me, but you get Hasselbeck, you get Eric Wood, you get anybody who knows anything about, even just knowing the makeup of a team, anybody who sees the amount of seniors on a team, anybody sees big time players at impactful positions like defensive end. You and I had this conversation the other day about a defensive end is a big time defensive end, a big time athletic defensive end, like a Josh Allen or something, just somebody who can cause trouble. He makes your cornerbacks better because your coverage doesn't have to last long. He makes your safeties better. You know what I'm saying? He frees up your defensive linemen. So when you throw a Malone out there, you say, okay, they got a lot of seniors and they got a real playmaker. You know what I'm saying? Like, be careful with this team. Offensively, you've watched them be able to move the ball against SEC level talent. You've watched it with your own two eyes. You don't want to mess around with these teams. A couple of mistakes go against you, and you could end up in a dog fight. And we saw that early.
Well, no, absolutely. But before we start to get into that, Brian, I mean, you watched WKU. Now keep it to WKU. But being a WKU guy, and stuff, how did you feel, after watching what's a WKU fan? Again, now just keep it to WKU, but what does a WKU fan walk away from that game feeling like?
I mean, you got to be pleased with the score of 35-21, but then you look back at the score and you say, well, we got 2 touchdowns basically handed to us. So you kind of say, hey, it's still points, but I wish we would have earned them a little bit. But I do like Pigrome. I think that he is going to be a guy that is a very good Conference USA quarterback.
I agree.
I think he'll be able to scramble a lot more against some teams that aren't quite as stout defensively or as Louisville or, when you get to the Conference USA play. I think that he'll be able to explore his passing a little bit more. I don't think they were able to pass the ball as well as they thought they were going to be able to or were hoping to.
Yeah.
So I think they'll work on that a little bit, but I do like his scrambling ability. I like Walker's running ability.
Yeah.
I thought the defensive front, the front four, is one that could maybe compete in the ACC. Like they looked very stout.
They were good.
Up front, and defense has always been their strength, and they gave up a couple big plays, but outside of the big plays, they did pretty good holding their own against Louisville. So, as a fan, I'm pleased. I didn't expect a win. I kind of expected a 14 to 17 point win for Louisville. That's what I was saying. That's what happened. So, I think there's some bright spots to take away. Defense looks good. Pigrome is a work in progress, but looks good, and I think they'll be fine once they get to conference play.
Yeah, no. See, and the reason I wanted to do that is because, I mean, I think that's how a lot of WKU's fans would feel, would probably echo what Brian's saying, because, I mean, you walked away from that, and I'm doing all this to get to the Louisville side of it. But I mean, you would walk away from that if you're rooting for WKU, and I root for WKU from here on out, you know. And I just don't think they'll lose very many games.
I told you that Malone guy was good.
Oh, he's very good.
He wreaked some havoc there in the first quarter.
Yeah.
He is a guy that I think will be a top 3 rounds pick come this next NFL draft.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I buy that completely.
Yeah. So that's kind of the macro side of it on the WKU side. So now, I mean, yeah, we can.
Let's do what we normally do. We go emotional, reliving the situation. Okay, nerves. TV. Listen, I'll even acknowledge with mine. You know, I'm ACC networking it. I'm wondering if my cable's gonna act up today for some reason, you know, like what can go wrong? Because I am so excited about this game starting. You know, everything's clean, everything's a perfect situation. You know me, Steve. I can't even have a friendly beverage when the game time comes. It just doesn't work well. So I'm sitting here. Everything works on. The game comes on. Perfect weather, but or not perfect weather, but visual is what I meant to say. Just the night visual was good. Soon as I turn it on, I see Eric Wood right there getting ready to go. He's masked up. Kickoff. Take it from there, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, look, right off the bat, man, you kind of, I will say, right off the bat, watching the game, starting things out, first drive. O-line, I was kind of, early in the game. It's going to be hard to go play-by-play here and do this.
Right.
The O-line looked rough at the start.
Yeah, to start the game, looked a little, for the first couple drives, it looked a little bit like, okay, what are we doing here?
But it could have been a factor that they underestimated Western's defensive line.
Well, there's probably a little bit of that.
And I hate what we're doing already. Steve, that very first play, the holding call on Cole Bentley was a bad call. He literally put that dude in the dirt. It was a terrible call. So, I feel like that you stumbled out the gate with that one.
Sure. I mean, that puts you behind the sticks right off the bat. But, I mean, O-line wise, the one thing that eased my mind quickly was after one drive. I mean, on the second drive, new people, Cam DeGeorge come in, which Cam DeGeorge played all over the place, by the way. He played 3 or 4
Coach wasn't
spots.
joking. He was not joking around when he said we're going to move guys in and out of that game.
He was the key block on several of the
plays. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So I started out, a little worried about the O-line because, listen, that was in my mind, that was one of those okay, I'm not going to speak this out loud as a fan, but that's in the back of my mind is like, are they going to be any good on the O-line, And watching that at first worried me, but then as soon as I saw Ledford making some switches and I saw guys moving around and I said, okay, what they're doing tonight, as you can tell, they're getting guys on film at different spots. So I trust them enough to say, and the line got better as it went on. I mean, I sent you a thing earlier. I mean, at the end of the day, it was what was it? Pro Football Focus.
Pro Football Focus College.
I don't know if you saw this, Brian, but Louisville was the highest graded offensive line in the country.
Really?
They were number 1 at 90.5. Number 2 was Notre Dame. Number 3 was Texas. Number 4 was Texas Tech. And look, Notre Dame was
the last time you could say that about a Louisville offensive line.
Right, on 1 week. I mean, and very, very little penalties on the O-line. I guess let's just do O-line for a second because it feels like that's kind of where we're headed just first. But very little penalty. We only gave up, I think, one sack maybe, and some of that's got to do with Mikal. I mean, I'll give him credit on that, but it didn't feel like he was rushed a lot.
Oh,
You
listen,
know,
he got the ball. Here's the thing: the quarterback that's willing to throw the ball out of bounds when it's not there is one of the offensive line's best friends. The good, the great. Here's the thing: I'm going to crush Mikhail for a decision later in the game, but his decisions early in the game when the play wasn't there and being comfortable saying, okay, it's 2nd and 9 or 2nd and 10, and still being comfortable throwing the ball away and saying, okay, we can get the 10 yards on 3rd down instead of, trying to tuck it and instead of Mikhail Cunningham trying to tuck it and fight to get, 4 yards or end up at the line of scrimmage with another tackle, he actually, did a great job of go ahead and put it out of bounds. Let's jog back to the line and get another shot. It was noticeable how comfortable he was throwing the ball out of bounds. That kind of jumped off the screen at me in the beginning of the game.
yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, that was something I had wrote down for Mikal is, and we'll get to him. I mean, was his ability to get out, but again, like you're saying, is
It helped the
O-line's
line,
best friend. Yeah, it helps them at the end of the day. So I liked what they did as the game went on. I liked that they were switching things around. Again, you got to remember, some of these coaches in week 1 are going to just get stuff on film. I need to see. You notice Caleb Chandler was out I think it was Chandler, was outside one time. Malone smokes him
Ooh.
and hits Mikal Cunningham. You didn't see him at that spot again. Like, it was like, okay, all right, this is not we can't move you out here. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
Like,
do you remember, Steve? We were talking about that, and I said, if Chandler comes to this sideline and I'm Coach Scott Satterfield, I say, you just lost our quarterback for the season.
right.
Even if he gets up, I want you to know you just lost our quarterback for the season. Our playoff run, our BCS bowl game, everything, you just gave that up. And you gave it up like you got blown around and he got crushed. And I'm glad we had the presence of mind. Or maybe we just got a lucky bounce on the fumble. But boy, did we need to jump on that football. Oh.
Yeah, no. I mean, it was definitely one that saved us there from. I mean, because and you went on and scored on that drive. So yeah, I mean, that was huge. But yeah, so O-line wise, man, I felt pretty good at the end of the day. I mean, listen, do you feel like, okay, well, it's fixed, they're good, everything's great? No. But I do give credit to WKU to an extent too, to say, they look like they got a pretty good run defense. I mean, so like, maybe, God forbid, maybe they're decent, at run stopping.
Right.
So dare you say that? So but yeah, I think that's definitely, I mean, that at the end of the day, you felt pretty solid with the O-line though. So that's one check mark off of the things that were
the big worries.
A big worry. And I think there were 3. I think there were O-line, defense, and special teams. I think were 3 things going into the season that we were like, oh, God, we just don't know. So O-line, I think you do a semi check mark maybe.
Right.
Like
you said, you got some stuff on film. It looked, any mistakes you saw on the offensive line looked like they could be fixed. Does that make sense? They look like they could be adjusted and fixed. It didn't look like they were getting blasted off the line from just being overpowered or anything. It looked like good competition, offensive line against the defensive line. Again, of course, everybody wants to have the offensive line that just goes Wisconsin on everybody, but that's just not the case. So I will sign up for the offensive line performance, especially after I looked at the replays of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely check mark there, going off with the O-line.
Do you go special teams next?
No. Let's enjoy ourselves for a second.
Save the worst for last.
Yeah, let's enjoy ourselves.
I'm okay. Listen, I'm okay with that. Okay, defensive line.
Okay, well, let's do defense and defensive line because here's the thing: defense as a whole, I thought was pretty good. Um, I thought defense as a whole. I mean, now here's the thing: Pigram doesn't really give you a look that's going to say, okay, was our secondary really, really tested?
Hmm.
So I mean, but what they
He's more of a
did,
scrambler.
yeah, what they did face, I thought they were pretty good. Uh, the Rush East play, while I loved seeing him come through and make the play
Uh-huh.
and cause the fumble, and kudos to him. I'm not taking that away from him. I mean,
Right.
that's how you make plays. You still don't like to see guys getting beat, and it wasn't him that got beat, by the way. But I mean, you still don't like to see other guys being beat like that.
Hmm.
But there wasn't a ton of those. Um, the touchdown. I mean, here's the thing. Two touchdowns were pretty much, whatever. You can't do nothing about that. They were on
Right.
the 1-2 yard line. The third touchdown come on not a bad punt that was they had 37 yards to go and it took them 9 plays.
Right.
One time they had a 1st and goal and didn't even score. Like, I mean, the defense was pretty solid, I thought.
I think the run defense for Louisville was awesome because
Yeah.
I watched every Western Kentucky game last year, and this guy Walker is a 1,200. He had 1,200 yards rushing last year. He had 19 carries for 19 yards. All their running backs averaged less than 3 yards a carry.
Really?
The only guy who had more than 19 yards rushing was Pigram with 68.
Yeah.
But that was mainly out of scrambling situations where they had him for a sack and then he ended up just taking off.
And he was good at the 2 longest ones he had weren't even designated runs.
Uh-huh.
He was good at taking off, making that decision and going. Like and so in the one time he broke that out. But even then, I mean, I thought our tackling was much better. But if I was going to say, okay, something I didn't like, I still don't feel like we got a ton of undrawn up pressure. It's
Just 4-man push.
just 4-man pass rush. It didn't feel like at any point during that game. I mean, you had a couple things, but a lot of your plays there just wasn't a lot of, the front four really getting to the quarterback, really getting, it's like so.
You know what? I'll kind of take your point and run with it a little bit. It looked like if you could get him horizontal, we were very, very fast in our pursuit. But
I agree with that.
we could not like collapse the pocket. You know, like that was the only thing. And I don't know if that's just like a stout weight thing. I don't know if that's a control thing. Because here's the thing.
Could it have been by design?
Yeah, see, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, I don't know.
I remember when this thing first started. You first started really hearing about it mainstream. The Mush Rush with Mike Vick.
Yeah.
Where they were kind of trying to keep the same line, never pursue, past Mike Vick. You know what I'm saying? But it would always look like Mike Vick had hours and hours of time to throw the football because they weren't over pursuing. So I can understand if there's a little bit of that, but once you got Pigram going any kind of way horizontal, I was really impressed with our speed, our pursuit speed. So yeah, if like I said, if you can contain anything in the center, you know what I'm saying, any lanes in the center, I think they got a potential to be really, really good on the defensive line because those guys can run. Like I said, I'm not sure about the stoutness just yet, but that's one of those. I'm gonna put a highlight marker on just that middle defense. And again, there was a scary moment when you saw Pigram just kind of doing the wildcat style running.
Mm-hmm.
That said, okay, I can't have this one. But
yeah, like this is a problem because
Right.
that's what I said last year. I mean, in the Kentucky game, I mean it was kind of gimmicky and it was obviously a gimmick that worked against Louisville, worked well.
Yeah,
So
with the extra blocker.
yeah, so anytime you know is that but see now here's where I would go back to. There's you're kind of facing both of those quarterbacks that could do that
Hmm.
on your schedule right here in game 1 and 2. So that's where maybe I'm like maybe and and listen, I could totally be wrong. It could just be they don't get pass rush.
Uh-huh.
Uh I would play the design game though. Like maybe for the first 2 weeks, it's by design to not because look, Pigram, we knew he's not gonna beat you if you make him throw the ball. He might beat you though if you rush him and he gets away and takes off. I kind of feel that way, and now I don't think Pigram's anywhere near De'Aaron King. I
Uh-huh.
mean, I think King's a much better player, but it's kind of the same thing there. Like if King can beat me throwing the ball, then so be it. But you know maybe but I'm gonna try to not let him beat me running the football.
Right. And when you listen to Brown, I mean, his biggest compliment to his defense during the I guess the abbreviated training camp, Coach Brown, the defensive coordinator's biggest compliment of his defense was the fact that they're not giving up the big plays. They're keeping things in front of you. So I know sometimes that's just a hard concept to feel like you're in a prevent all the time. Like these, like I said, these 3rd and 7s where you're not, or these 3rd and 11s where you're not really bringing any pressure, and you end up missing a tackle, and it ends up 4th and 1. You know what I'm saying? But again, by design, by necessity, a little bit. But if that's the kind of defense, if that's the defense you have to play right now, you should kind of expect the ball's gonna move forward. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to give up yards
Yeah,
to
yeah.
and again, to your point, you get the ball 37-yard line, and it takes you how many plays to get to the end zone?
Nine, yeah. Yeah, I mean that was a 9-play, 37-yard drive to score. I mean look, I can handle that. I mean if that's what it takes. Okay, give me a name. Give me somebody that defensively, somebody that you that jumped off the page for you.
Defensively
Yeah.
jumps off the page. For me, probably Yaya Diaby.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I thought he did well. Yeah.
yeah, just like his once he got loose, it was like he was on people, and you can kind of see it convert into some bigger games.
Yeah.
You,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like again, this is we're talking about all senior offensive line. They know how to stay in front of a guy. Know they have a running quarterback, but the speed and athleticism kind of was like, okay, that's a player.
There's a lot of Monty Montgomery on the text line. That's what
Ah,
kind of made me think of the question, which I thought he was
He
really
was very
good.
impressive.
Yeah, yeah, he had a good game. I mean, of course, we liked him last
Yeah,
year.
we heard about him last year and didn't see as much. Now we're actually starting to see it.
Yeah, yeah. So he kind of jumped off. Somebody who you didn't hear a lot of, and I told you this the other day, Marcus, that I enjoyed was Keitrell Clark.
ah,
You didn't hear his name a lot. There
It's
was
a
a
good
re-
thing when you're
there
a
was, it was
D-back.
it was a good thing, yeah. Because going back and watching, man, he was really good in coverage. I mean, I don't even know that they went his way more than one or two times.
It's funny because when Darrell Revis was killing it and you had Revis Island,
Yep.
and you'd go look at his stat line, it's like 2 tackles and a couple pass breakups. And it's like because they're not passing his way because
Yeah.
his receivers never open.
Yeah, I mean that's the biggest compliment you can get as
didn't
a,
the
as a
Western
corner.
didn't the Western Kentucky coach mention him in his
Oh yeah,
pregame? Yeah, so
yeah,
he
yes,
so
yeah.
he knew to stay away from him.
Yeah, no, he said, look, man, this kid. I think Helton had said something along the lines. He was like, I'm not real sure why he was at Liberty.
I was gonna say, how'd this kid end up at Liberty?
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of what he was saying. But again,
Houston Nut, man.
yeah, I know. So I mean, he was a heck of a player though. So I liked what I saw out of him too. So yeah, no, defensively, I think I'm kind of with the offensive line. I'm like I'm not ready to permanent marker check it, but I'm like I'll pencil check it. Like
Right.
it looked like it passed the test. The offensive line looked like it passed the test. I mean, of course, next week will be a bigger test, and we're not avoiding next week. We'll get to next week, but there's a lot happen. So yeah, I think I would pencil check both of them. So yeah, not bad, not
I
bad. So that's two of the three.
I tell you what, that is 2 of the 3. We'll
Hang
stay
on,
on pace. Go ahead, hit the phone.
No, wait just a second. Brian's out doing something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So well, we could go ahead and do it. We
Oh,
can do it.
okay.
Let's just do it. Let's do it.
Special
And then
teams.
then we'll take a break, and then we can come back and talk about some good things.
Special teams.
Okay, the third thing we were worried about, it was defense, O-line, special teams.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start out positive. 5 of 5 extra points, Turner. Thought that was good.
It looked, the snap was clean, the hole was clean, the extra points were very, very clean. I agree.
Extra points I thought looked good. We didn't really get to see. I was actually kind of hoping down the stretch there that they would kick a field goal. I was like, I want to see if this guy's got, because next week I think you're going to need some field goals.
Right.
So I was like, I hated that their first in-game field goal is going to be, we'll get to the game. But so that part of it I thought was good. As far as return kickoff team, you didn't see a whole lot of return team kick. As far as kickoff, they had a couple times that.
Your Hassan Hall deep.
Yeah, the
play.
Hassan Hall thing, where it's like, dude, come on. But that was just that wasn't a special teams systematic blunder. That was just Hassan Hall.
And there's such a fine line between letting the guy, if you think you got it, man, go.
Yeah, and you didn't have it, so don't do that again. Because once you do it a couple times, then it's like, okay, you're losing your privileges. So that, there was a little bit of that. Travelstead handed I did like how they had Turner extra points, Travelstead doing kickoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he did a good job. We know he can kick it out of the end zone, so that's why I go back to, if he's not, there's probably a reason for that. So I feel like he probably executed well there. And then there's the punter.
and then there's a punter.
And then there's the punter.
Okay.
It would have been a 35-7 game if it weren't for the punt team.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what I want to do though. Because everybody right now is like on the edge of their seats waiting to hear punter crushing, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that on this one.
Okay.
And it's for a particular reason. I bet you, at the end of the day, after you relax, because again, everybody, again, you wanted to cut the punter and you never wanted to see him again, when you're angry at him, right?
Mm-hmm.
I bet you, in a quiet, peaceful moment of Zen, because I did it myself. I tried to be empathetic of the situation. I tried to superimpose myself on the sideline of the University of Louisville football team. And I thought about, I think, Steve, there was enough negative thoughts that knew he's going to fumble the snap. Right?
Yeah.
I bet you, like I said, if you believe in the kind of energy that was created,
No, I do, because I felt the same way.
Yeah, and I know it wasn't just you. I know it wasn't just me. I know we all just like, this could get, I don't know why, but it's okay. But here's the thing, Steve. We've heard Coach Satterfield talk about, man, I just leave the punters alone and I leave the kickers alone. I let them do their thing. They're a special breed. They're different, right?
Right.
He's kind of said that, right? And not saying that in any kind of, it's kind of a old joke, you know what I'm saying? That they're just mental, but you don't want to mess with their heads, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I can guarantee you, in hindsight, Coach Satterfield would have had one of those moments where he said, catch the ball. Don't worry about who's coming. Don't worry about who's, you know what I'm saying? Like, I bet you if he could go back and do that again, he would have went max protect and said, just catch the ball. Anybody who knows anything about nerves and nervous situations and rank, like you got to go back to your fundamentals. It's when you go back to getting under center and just taking a snap. We have to start at ground zero. And whenever you get in a situation like this, was a first time freshman in the rain on his 1 yard line, catch the ball.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there was a few a few of the texters that kind of had that vibe too. And I actually believe this is one I don't think people are tagging on because sports does that too.
Yes.
I remember sitting in McDonald's drive-through heading to watch Rutgers Louisville on that godforsaken night. And I was like, they're going to lose.
You just
Like,
brought the energy into existence.
I was with my now listen, Gary just sounds my now baby mama. And we're getting something to eat. We're going to watch this game, and I remember turning to her and going, "They're going to lose. That just feels like they're going to lose."
Right, and not just I never win. Not the negative Nancy thing.
No, but sports does that to you. So yeah, so I agree with that. Now here's the thing. And we'll hit this and we'll go to break here in just a couple minutes so we can get one in. But okay, so that it is what it is. You mess up here.
I got a comment.
Okay, go ahead.
The one thing that I did not like that the punter did was when he was caught on camera talking to somebody in the crowd, and he said that was not my fault. Now, whether it was or not, and honestly, it could be that just his parents were right behind him and he was talking to his parents, but you don't publicly, I mean, and you got to know that a camera could be on you at any point on the sideline, especially after you make a play like that. Don't turn around and blame it on your teammates and say it's not my fault.
Yeah, I mean, and that's coming from the catch it, the one that got blocked that took a little extra time, and I agree with Brian. That obviously was a big.
It's just a bad look.
No.
Yeah, that's a sports no. That's a locker room. Not just because it was caught on TV. You don't. Right. In the environment of your team, unless you're talking to the person who made the mistake, or you say, hey, what do you think about that one? You know what I'm saying? Unless y'all are having a conversation head to head, like what happened here, right?
Yeah.
Not my fault is not in your vocabulary.
Exactly.
Not
on me is not in your vocabulary.
I agree 100%. So that was a really big. Now let me for a second. Let me try to give the benefit of the doubt if we see him again. If Texter says I hate the rugby punt. I know, Marcus, you feel that way too. I don't. So I didn't mind the rugby punt. I'm weird with that. I kind of like that style because that style for me, and I'm not trying to argue my point here because I get it. If you hate it, I totally get it too.
If you do it, you better be fast.
But I feel like, that's why for me, I didn't give him the benefit of the doubt on the it wasn't my fault thing because it's like, dude, you're a rugby punter. Get the freak out of the way. Like, but I hold my breath every time we play a rugby punter because with a rugby punter, there's always the check down of if they turn their backs, take off running. You know what I mean? Like, so I kind of like that. And like I said, I'm okay if you don't. And every time it costs us, I'm perfectly fine. Call and cuss me out. That'll work too. But so I didn't mind him being a rugby punter. So if we ever see him again, which I'm assuming we probably will.
I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, if we ever see him again, I'm okay and I'm intrigued with the rugby punt style. So
and if you go back to it, people, he was tripping over his feet from the beginning of that play. Like his nerves were definitely kicking in. But again, if I'm the coach in that position, I know Coach Satterfield or the special teams coach would go back and say, hey, stick to your fundamentals, catch the ball, get a firm grip, and then let it rip.
Right. You want me to get this phone call real quick before we go?
Absolutely.
Softball Dad Dustin, welcome in. What's going on?
Hey, guys. Well, it's obviously that time of year again that the only people that like rugby punts are the same ones that like pumpkin spiced candles.
Fair enough.
And
Fair enough.
and now running backs still wear black sleeves, right? Or is it? I can't remember. I've lost track.
Yeah, that works.
No, I think it was a. You all haven't talked about what I think is the most important thing about this game.
Okay.
The coaching. The coaching was fantastic. It was shockingly good. I was kind of nervous about that. I mean, the punter. I mean, I don't even want to talk about that.
What in particular did you like about the coaching?
On the offensive side of the ball, the X's and the O's, the very keep it simple, stupid play calling kind of stuff was like just execute. And to me, if they continue to do that, and well, Marcus, you said something about fundamentals. I saw a lot of good fundamental football, and that's really all we can expect right now. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree.
No. Listen, that's a great point.
Yeah.
No, listen. Yeah, that's what you were hoping for, Steve. You were hoping to see real, truthful, fundamental. I actually couldn't have disagreed more with I don't know if it was Perrin or Drew this morning. Kind of brought it up about it looking a lot more complicated against Miami, and I'm like, no, Satterfield has said we don't do a lot of complicated stuff. You know, we have our zones, our inside zones, our outside zones. You know what I'm saying? We have our
I don't think he's one that hides his playbook for maybe he's got a play or two up his sleeve.
Of course he has wrinkles.
But offense was great. We can get to offense after the break. That'll work.
Absolutely. Quick commercial break. Middays with Marcus Maben on 939 The Ville.
A picnic. You're so romantic.
Let's spread the blanket out right here. Hey, look up.
It says, what does that say? Ill you army? Ill you army, what?
It says, will you marry me? I could only afford so many letters. The ring broke the bank.
It's what happens when you don't go to Genesis Diamonds. See, at Genesis, we believe getting the ring of her dreams shouldn't mean breaking the bank or having to cut corners. Our direct importer, no middleman diamond prices mean you can always get a bigger diamond in the designer setting she wants and still stay in budget. With the money you'll save, well, you can plan that dream proposal.
We should do a toast to us.
Great idea. There's only enough for one glass. You make the toast and I'll watch.
Don't compromise, guys. Get to Genesis Diamonds, where our best value guarantee means you can get her the ring and the proposal of her dreams. Genesis Diamonds, official jeweler of the Louisville Cardinals and the Kentucky Wildcats. Shelbyville Road Plaza.
Hey, this is Steve Rummage, and I have one question for you. What good is having that beautiful home with that beautiful view if you can't see through the grit and grime of your windows? Or every time you try to open them, it feels like an extensive workout. Let's face it, you and your home deserve better. That's why I'm here to tell you about Windows Plus. They have the best free lifetime transferable warranty, best installation in town, quality products, doors, windows, siding, and gutters. They've also been voted most efficient in 2019 and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating, including all 5-star reviews, which means they're exactly what you've been looking for. So go visit them at 11501 Plantside Drive in Louisville, Kentucky, or call 502-494-0120. Again, that's Windows Plus, so make the call.
You want selection? At Commonwealth Dodge Ram, our selection is incredible on J.D. Power's #1 ranked and #3 ranked most reliable vehicles. And during this summer clearance event, drive a new Ram Crew Cab 4x4 V8. Just $299 a month or 0% financing for 72 months and no payments for 90 days. Plus, we have a big selection of certified pre-owned vehicles, including Jeeps for cheap.
Remember, if it doesn't say Commonwealth, you paid too much.
We're Commonwealth Dodge Ram. We're right on Preston and always right on the price.
With approved credit includes all factory rebates, incentives, and dealer discounts. See Commonwealth Dodge Ram for details.
Are you ready to sell your home? Well, there couldn't be a better time. Houses are going for top dollar and selling quickly. You need to call Jill Blessinger with Keller Williams. She has a team of professionals that will help you sell your home quickly and get the most for it. She is a professional home stager and photographer. And when you're ready to buy, she works with Becky Bleemel of Caliber Home Loans. She makes the loan process very simple. And if you mention you heard this on Middays with Marcus Maben or ESPN, your appraisal is absolutely free. So give Jill a call today at 502-773-0546. That's 502-773-0546. And let her help you today.
Let's go.
Time now for an ESPN Louisville Sports Center update.
Good morning, I'm Brian Hull. The Sports Center update brought to you by Baptist Health Sports Medicine, centered on you. The new college football AB polls were released yesterday, and the University of Louisville moved up to number 18 in those rankings after a 35-21 victory over Western Kentucky on Saturday. Here's head coach Scott Satterfield following the game.
Did some good things. I thought Cunningham was, I guess, career high throwing the football. You know, I give credit to a lot of it to his receivers and offensive line, too, with that. Those guys made some big-time plays out there. But we needed to be able to throw the ball tonight. They were loading up the box to try to stop the run, which they did a good job of that. So we've always said, man, if they take that away, we got to be able to throw it. And we feel good about our guys on the outside. So overall, super pleased to have a win, 1-0. And looking forward to, getting ready for Miami.
The Cards take on Miami on Saturday as we welcome College Game Day back to the University of Louisville. We'll have pregame coverage for you right here on 93.9 The Ville at 5:30 and immediately following the game for the postgame show. The University of Kentucky football team moved into the top 25 as well, as they will be number 23 when they start their season in a week and a half. The Big Ten Conference presidents met yesterday to discuss the possibility of football in the fall, but there was no vote made and no decisions have been made public yet. Most of the teams kicked off their NFL season yesterday, and the Indianapolis Colts suffered a tough loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars, 27-20. The Cincinnati Bengals also had a tough feat as A.J. Green's touchdown was called back. Then kicker Randy Bullock got hurt on an attempt to tie the game, and the Bengals lost 16-13. The Baltimore Ravens had no trouble with the Cleveland Browns, winning 38-6, and Lamar Jackson passed for 275 yards and 3 touchdowns. Moving on to Major League Baseball, the Cincinnati Reds came back from a 2-run deficit to beat the St. Louis Cardinals 10-5. And they will be back in action tomorrow taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates, with our coverage beginning at 6:10 on our sister station, ESPN 680. And last but certainly not least, ESPN Louisville is your home for the NFL. And we'll have that doubleheader on Monday night tonight for you on our sister station, ESPN 680, starting around 6:45, starting with the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the New York Giants, and immediately followed by the Titans taking on the Broncos. Keep it locked here. Middays with Marcus Maben is next. This is SportsCenter.
Have you been in a car wreck? Insurance companies can be really tough to deal with on your own. I'm Sam Aguiar, and our team is here to help. We have been fortunate enough to represent thousands of people from Kentucky communities, and we would love to speak with you about your potential case. Our team loves what we do. The consultation for you is free, and we don't charge you anything unless we win the case for you. So come be a part of our team. Our phone number is easy, 502-888-8888. 502-888-8888.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
Welcome back. Welcome back. It's Middays with Marcus Maben. 8150 93.9 is the number. 93.9 is the station. That was some good footage you just sent me, Steve. Just doing exactly.
Offensive line, I know.
Just doing exactly what Mekhi Becton. But his running back got hurt, right?
He said, yeah, Bell.
Is he out or what?
I don't know. He was out yesterday for the rest of the game.
Okay.
I think he may officially, Le'Veon Bell may officially be done.
Right, yeah.
Like, I keep drafting him in fantasy, because like you keep thinking like, well, maybe this is the year.
Maybe he still got it.
Yeah.
But they say running backs go off a cliff fast, something.
Yeah, once it's done, it's done. I think for him, I think it's done. You're either a lifer like Adrian Peterson, You're
right.
Just kind of get it done forever.
Oh, he can see.
Looked good yesterday.
Oh, he can
done again.
Yeah,
he can
good,
totally
man.
see. He can see those lanes.
Yeah, or he's
the ageless wonder, man.
Oh, I know. Or you just fall off the face of the earth. And I think Bell is in that vicinity. Yeah.
I'm not
He
right.
wanted
You're
that money so much he signed with the Jets, and it was the worst move he could have made.
and it was like, oh,
He could have
man.
extended his career if he stayed with the Steelers.
But now I will say this: Becton, as good as he is, they'll eventually get a good young running back that'll be hungry, that can run behind Becton, and they'll get it going. Yeah, they'll get it going.
They will definitely get it. Okay, so offensively, are we way too close to the top of the hour to even talk offense? Is there? Oh, atmosphere.
We'll do that. Then we'll hit offense in a second.
Atmosphere was brought up on the YouTube channel. Here's the thing. You remember last night? I even sent you a video clip, Steve. I couldn't tell if it was crowd piped in noise or it was actually the 12,000 fans that were all just like totally involved. Because we had this conversation a while back, Steve. We said the rabid fan that wanted to be at this game no matter what. I'm willing to listen. I'll wear the mask. I'll do the hand sanitizer, take my temperature, do the scan tickets, do the card, everything. I am willing to do that all so I can cheer hardcore at these games. You could almost tell that crew was making their presence felt. On the TV.
No, absolutely, man. Eric Wood this morning was on with Drew Diener, and he was talking about. He said, the atmosphere was surprisingly pretty solid for, because you think going into that, I think that you just have in your mind that it's going to be, which by the way, the NFL atmospheres, that's got to be weird. Just dead silent.
Just the zero fans.
Watching the Cowboys last night, like guys kept jumping off sides, and they're like, and they were talking, and they're like, you got to think. The hard counts are harder to ignore because you can't hear. I mean, you in a real game, it's like, yeah, you hear it, but there's other things too. In these games, it's like, man, you can hear them just, like, oh, I gotta go.
I didn't like them
DeMarcus Lawrence in the first play. The first play, DeMarcus Lawrence, he jumps off sides and he just kind of keeps going, and he looks up at the camera like, what the hell you want me to do? I'm already back right here now. So like he just kind of keeps running and it was funny because he just kind of stood back in the backfield like, I'm gonna wait till y'all blow the whistle, I guess. Like I don't know.
I didn't like them sticking digital fans in, like going into commercial breaks in my Detroit game though. Like, dude, listen. If it's gonna be empty, let it be empty. Because I'm not gonna get comfortable with you just sticking virtual fans and piped in crowd noise at my football games.
Right. Yeah, let it be empty. But the Louisville game now, and a lot of college football games, there were fans, and in the Louisville, man, I'm telling you, people that were there said it was a pretty solid atmosphere.
Yeah, listen, John on Ville says Solid Cars chants, was wondering if it could be heard on TV. Seemed pretty loud in the stadium.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Do you think next week
the governor got to open it up?
Okay, that's what I'm going to ask. Do you think Louisville will maybe try to contact the governor's office and say, look, we have this whole upper deck here that's empty.
Oh.
You saw us do it for a week.
Right.
Everybody, I mean, on camera, every time they went to the crowd, for the most part, people were masked, and if they had it pulled down over their nose, they were usually just like a man and a woman together, or two dudes, or whatever, just hanging out. Like it wasn't like a group.
Right.
Then, I wonder if Louisville will submit a plan and say, well, look, that whole flight deck up there is empty. You think we could get a little bit? Because I think, right? I mean, if you went to the game.
Which is why we said 18 to 20 in the beginning. We know we have the flight deck. We know we have the space.
But I'm not even going to play. Look, but here's the thing. I won't even play the game. I'll say, okay, all right. Look, I'm playing your game here. Okay? So, not yours, but okay, I'm saying, to be 100% safe, I said 12,000 if I'm the governor. Okay, cool. Like, okay, I feel you, but now I saw it happen. And here's the thing. Louisville doesn't play at home again for a month. I mean, they literally, the next time you kick off at home, it's Florida State in 4 weeks.
You don't get
after Saturday.
you don't get college game day opportunities every so easily either.
Yeah, and everybody that went to the game said, look, people were outside of their cars, just behind their cars. A lot of people had their, whatever, they're with their family, whoever they came with, drinking beer, eating, whatever. The lines were easy to go through to get in the game.
Mm-hmm.
People were spread out. Concession stands were spread
Yeah,
out.
seems like they staggered out the entrances like they were supposed to.
Yeah. So I think that Louisville would have a decent, I don't want to say argument, but a decent proposal, right? To say, I mean, I don't think you're more likely to get the virus up in the flight deck, right?
You got a top 20 matchup with college game day. Those forms should have already been couriered to the governor.
Yeah. I would hope.
And I'm saying forms like couriers.
I would bet it was. Somebody said I was at the game. I can tell you for 11,000 fans, the atmosphere was surprisingly good and was very impressive. If we could have kept that original 18,000 limit capacity, it would have been a true home field advantage. See, that's kind of what I'm saying. If you can give me another 5,000-6,000 in the flight deck, I think you're pretty happy for the rest. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, because look, the next 3 home games are Miami, Florida State, and Virginia Tech. Like I think it's. I mean, I don't even think like this is crazy. Like I don't think this is even.
No, mathematically.
Very much on the side. Yeah. Of we shouldn't do it. I think you could at least listen to that and say, yeah, all right, Steve, I'll give you that one. Like, I mean, I'm not arguing for everybody to come in. The party deck should totally be closed. You know what I'm saying? Like all that stuff. Listen, even though people that listen to the show know I'm not on this. I'm not like super.
You put more responsibility on the individual.
On the individual,
yes.
Then, but I'm like, okay, you can't be having like a party deck and stuff like that's not gonna work because I mean this is obviously a virus that is real that can kill people if you got so like no, let's not do that. But I feel like it looked safe. I mean, it looked like they did. I mean, around the country, people were doing what they. I mean, other than at
Florida State,
Notre Dame, Notre Dame, they're just like, look, God protect us. I ain't worried about it. So it's like, yes. You can't get coronavirus with touchdown Jesus right over my shoulder. Right?
Notre Dame. Is there anything that can go wrong? It's Notre Dame. If I'm not protected here.
So surely that can at least. And Brian, sorry, man, you can go ahead and play us out. It's already 11:02. But yeah, I mean, surely that will at least be a, one thing I didn't understand too, watching my son's game this weekend.
I'm listening.
Why aren't they allowed to slap hands after the game?
Oh, have they took that out too? What? I was gonna say, Steve, are we complaining about post game handshakes? But you're saving America one thing at a time. Handshakes are still important to the man, to the human. We need to get them back. I agree with you, but not during the pandemic. It went without a hitch. Rolling along. No doubt about that. Middays with Marcus Payment on 939 The Ville.
Golfing season is
Think I'm
back,
getting better at
and what better way
remembering to cut
celebrate
it
than
off.
with a round at Wooded View Golf
To
Course in
mute it
Clarksville.
like I'm supposed
Located
to.
just minutes from downtown
Ah.
Louisville off Veterans Parkway and
Chris, Steve
I-65.
was hurt with the
Wooded View
Cowboys.
Golf Course is convenient and affordable. Wooded View also
ACC
features
okay.
a pro shop, lounge, and an outdoor patio to
18,000 for
relax for
everybody.
before and
I
after
did
your
not
round.
know that.
Schedule your tee time today at
We
woodedviewgc.com.
didn't talk about the Big Ten.
Again, that's woodedviewgc.com.
Hey, this is Steve Rummage, and I have one question for you. What good is having that beautiful home with that beautiful view if you can't see through the grit and grime of your windows? Or every time you try to open them, it feels like an extensive workout. Let's face it, you and your home deserve better. That's why I'm here to tell you about Windows Plus. They have the best free lifetime transferable warranty.
Yeah,
best
Nick.
installation
I
in
didn't see
town,
that earlier,
quality
Nick. They
products,
had them. They
doors,
had them in the
windows,
box. Satterfield said
siding,
it too.
and gutters. They've
He
also
said they
been
loaded
voted
it.
most efficient in 2019 and have an A+ Better Business
Oh,
Bureau rating,
Steven.
including
Golly, that
all
was the
5-star reviews,
worst
which means
upset.
they're
I mean,
exactly
it wasn't
what
even an
you've been
upset.
looking for. So go
Oh,
visit them
that
at
fourth quarter of the Lions, it was
11501
brutal.
Plantside Drive in Louisville, Kentucky, or call
It was absolutely brutal.
502-494-0120. Again, that's Windows Plus, so make the call.
So, yeah.
Whether you're looking for an engagement ring, a gift, or something for yourself, visit Shane Company. We have new ways to shop to make it even
Make sure we
easier.
go back over our picks.
Come in anytime or book an
too
in-store or
early to
virtual
talk
appointment with
Miami.
a jewelry consultant. They'll listen and offer personalized recommendations. It's like shopping with a friend. When you shop online, you can opt for free 2-day
Game day
shipping
is gonna
or
be
no
awesome.
contact curbside pickup. Our online engagement ring toolbox
Guest
has some
picker.
fun tools to help you get started, from finding the perfect style to calculating which rings fit your budget. With our virtual try-on,
Georgia
snap
Tech,
a
is
photo
that
of your
now?
hand with your phone
Did
and
Georgia
see how
Tech
any
go
ring
up?
looks on you. Shopping for fine jewelry
game
at
just
Shane
got
Company
tougher.
is always enjoyable and easy for everyone.
Yeah,
Now, you
KB,
have a
I'm like
friend
that
in the
too,
jewelry
man. Like,
business.
yeah,
Shane
yeah.
Company,
I wanna,
Shaneco.com.
I want a full. But what
Are
what
you
if
ready
they
to
had
sell
a
your
season
home?
just all of a
There
sudden
couldn't
they
be a
just
better
put
time.
like 12 of
Houses are
them
going
in the
for
top
dollar and selling
15?
quickly. You need to call Jill Blessinger with Keller Williams.
But what if they
She has a
stick
team of
Michigan,
professionals that
Ohio
will help you
State,
sell your home quickly and get the most
Wisconsin,
for it. She's
Michigan,
a
Ohio
professional home
State,
stager and
Wisconsin,
photographer.
Penn
And when you're ready
State,
to buy, she works with Becky Blemo of Caliber Home Loans.
Nebraska,
She makes the loan process very
probably like
simple.
Michigan State. What if
And
they
you
just
mention you
flood
heard
them
this
in
on
the top
Middays with
10 out
Marcus
of
Bader
nowhere?
or ESPN,
That's gonna
your
suck.
appraisal is absolutely free. So give Jill a call today at 502-773-0546.
But I do know what you're saying. I do.
That's
I do want to get my ranking to a full.
773-0546.
Yeah, I don't mind the
And let her
competition.
help you today.
An official broadcast partner of the University of Louisville, WLCL Sellersburg is 93.9 The Ville. Time now for an ESPN Louisville Sports Center update.
Good morning, I'm Brian Hull. The Sports Center update brought to you by Baptist Health Sports Medicine, centered on you. The new college football AB polls were released yesterday, and the University of Louisville moved up to number 18 in those rankings after a 35-21 victory over Western Kentucky on Saturday. Here's head coach Scott Satterfield following the game.
Did some good things. I thought Cunningham was, I guess, career high throwing the football. You know, I give credit to a lot of it to his receivers and offensive line too. With that, those guys made some big time plays out there. But we needed to be able to throw the ball tonight. They were loading up the box,
did make
trying to
some
stop the run, which they did a good job of that. So we've always said, man, if they take that away, we got to be able to throw it. And we feel good about our guys on the outside. So overall, super pleased
Robert,
to have a win.
somebody's trying to shut it down,
Looking
though.
forward to getting ready for Miami.
The Cards take on Miami on Saturday as we welcome College Game Day back to the University of Louisville. We'll have pregame coverage for you right here on 93.9 The Ville at 5:30 and immediately following the game for the postgame show. The University of Kentucky football team moved into the top 25
I
as
want to
well,
know
as
who
they
in
will be
the
number
Big
23
Ten is
when they
just
start
like
their season in a week and a half.
Somebody's like
The Big
really
Ten Conference
against it,
presidents
though.
met yesterday to discuss the possibility of football in the
Like
fall.
somebody
There was no
real
vote made,
high up.
and no decisions have been made public yet. Most of the
But
teams kicked off their
I
NFL
know the
season
Big
yesterday,
Ten has to be
and the Indianapolis
sick
Colts suffered a tough loss to the
watching.
Jacksonville
And they probably
Jaguars,
looking at
27-20.
everybody else like we was
Cincinnati
smashed
Bengals
them.
also had a tough beat as A.J. Green's
probably what
touchdown was called
everybody
back.
thinks.
Then kicker Randy Bullock got hurt on an attempt to tie the game, and the Bengals lost 16-13. The Baltimore Ravens had no trouble with the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, I'm sure
38 to
everybody
6,
thinks
and Lamar
everybody
Jackson
in the
passed
Big
for
Ten thinks
275
they will
yards
punish the
and 3
ACC
touchdowns.
because that's all you
Moving on
really
to Major
been
League
watching.
Baseball, the Cincinnati Reds came back from a 2-run deficit to beat the St. Louis Cardinals 10-5, and they will be back in action tomorrow taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates, with our coverage beginning at 6:10 on our sister station, ESPN 680. And last but certainly not least, ESPN Louisville is your home for the NFL. And we'll have a doubleheader on Monday night tonight for you on our station, ESPN 680, starting around 6:45, starting with the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the New York Giants, and immediately followed by the Titans taking on the Broncos. Keep it locked here. Middays with Marcus Maben is next. This is SportsCenter.
Gotta mute it again. But don't let me go on without don't let me move forward without unmuting it. Please send me a message. Brian was in the mood to play the longest intro. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's Middays with Marcus Maben, 8150. 93.9 is the number. 93.9 is the station. Okay, we're moving right along. Again, the phone lines are open. I'll tell you what. We got to jump right into the offense. Okay, now it doesn't have to be the gush segment of the offense, but here's the thing, Steve. I know how much it irritates other people when we go gush session over how many weapons you look like you had, how much potential is in the offensive side of the football. Do you want to do that, or do you want to be a critical Steve on how much we can improve in particular areas? Feeling good. That's a good sign when Lawrence is satisfied. Okay. Okay, is this the Braden Smith effect? Uh, hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Me. And it's like, so yeah, that's why I think that makes it even bigger, because you say, look, it's not just oh, well, we got another guy that gets a nice thing.
Right.
We've got another serious game breaker. And here's why he's so big. And we can do Braden Smith first. We start with Braden Smith. Here's why he's so big. It's great that he's awesome too, right?
Right.
But you can't continuously shade Tutu and Dez and let Braden Smith run free. He showed you that.
What were you most impressed with Braden Smith?
I think post game helped me. Kind of, I cheated a little bit, because post game, when he said his recognition of the defense, and he said something in his post game interview, and he was talking about. He said, when I lined up, I saw what they were in. I'm paraphrasing, but he said, I saw what they were in.
Coverage-wise.
Yeah, coverage-wise. He said, I knew what Mikal was calling. I knew what we were doing. He said, and we had been waiting for this look all week. So and this is his first big catch. So it was like he used to be a quarterback, like Tutu Atwell. He used to be a quarterback coming out of high school and stuff. He played, he's from Mississippi. He played good ball down there. He played at Eastern, or Northeast Community College in Mississippi.
Former quarterback knows what to look for.
Yes. So he said, and they asked him that, and he said, yeah, that's a help. That's a big help for me. So he, he said, I recognize this. I knew I can smoke that man in front of me. So like this play, I know what's going to happen here. So I'm going to concentrate on nothing but getting out of this break and smoking him, and I know I've got the ball. And he did, and he made the play. Obviously, I would go through his best catch of the night was without a doubt the post route across the middle that kind of surprised Mikal through.
Listen, confession time, Steve. Go ahead. Let everybody know what you told me.
I would have alligator armed that. I think I would have alligator armed that,
Steve,
man. Like, I'm sorry.
You would have just curled up your arms and said, nah, not this one.
Yeah. Even Hasselbeck, as he's running the route, goes, you could hear him you could hear him on the microphone go.
Yeah. No, I think he goes. I think he does that. Yep.
Yeah, and it was like, because he saw it coming, and everybody did. But for Braden Smith to catch that ball, make a play, a lot of stuff you really like there. So he's going to, and again, like I said, he's going to force you to not be able to double Dez, to not be able to double Tutu, to open things up there. So yeah,
he wasn't surprised. I know we've been talking about him a lot this offseason, but he still shocked me.
Yeah.
He made Mikal Cunningham trust. Listen, Braden Smith catching that football is why Dez Fitzpatrick got that next touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think,
I'll give you that.
If that ball gets knocked down, or if Braden Smith gets cleaned up or something, I think Mikal gets gun shy when he sees Dez going long, because it's here. Okay, like you said, they teach in a way, give your receiver a chance to go make a play on the ball.
Yeah.
Put it up high enough when you got Dez Fitzpatrick. If you look, it's one of those things where you go from looking to, okay, there's a man there, I'm not going to throw it, to, no, I don't care. Like, my man's better than them. I'm going to throw this one. You know what I'm saying? When you get a Braden Smith catch.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the confidence is the next step. Of Mikal Cunningham just letting it go sometimes and saying, no, okay, just go catch the ball.
Yeah. I mean, I would agree with that 100%, and he did that. I mean, and that can transition.
I did enjoy the comeback route, Steve.
Yeah, especially from Dez Fitzpatrick.
Mm-hmm.
he was sharp, man. He was sharp the night. His deep comeback route, man. He would run through the ball, and he kind of got that. I know Pops will punch me in the face for this comparison, but he kind of got the Cole Beasley comeback and wrap around, you know. And Dez did that a few times. And one thing Dez did the other day was he showed something. I like this because he showed something that nobody really gives him credit for, and that's his ability to run with the football. Like I think he's gotten pegged as a possession receiver almost. And it's like he can run with the ball in his hand. Like, I mean, he has he has an ability to get some yak after the the play.
Yeah, and you remember I was always complaining about that. It's like a lot of times it seemed like he would just stop, kind of like on his route, he would stop and kind of wait for the ball to come through him. And it's like, no, if you keep on coming through it, you might be able to keep your momentum going, turn up the corner. Like I said, I didn't know if that was just and here's the thing too, like Mikhail and Puma, like I know they didn't have the best accuracy, you know what I'm saying, from the time Coach Satterfield and them got here, you know what I'm saying? So you have to think like they've really been working out kinks for about a year now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
oh yeah.
Yeah, their passing game looks a lot more comfortable. Like put it this way, you're not holding your breath the same way when there's just a regular pass, a routine pass. And I thought with Mikhail, a lot of times we were like just hope, just kind of like, okay, that's a completion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to ask you with Mikhail. I mean, how did you feel? How did you feel with him overall? Because what makes me ask this is a texter comes in, and we got quite a few texts today. But a texter comes in and says, "My issue with Saturday's performance is Cunningham had 2 throws that could have been picks. If that happens, we're talking about the offense differently." Yeah, I mean,
I will listen. I will make a point. I will make 2 points. One point is to somebody who doesn't understand football and doesn't understand and I don't even want to say football in particular. People who don't understand sports and don't realize that a team can be better than another team, and there's a reason those point spreads are a lot closer than you think. It's because 1 or 2 plays go Western Kentucky's way, and you're in a dogfight. We're talking about 1 or 2 plays, and we're talking about 1 or 2 individuals making 1 or 2 plays. So if you say that a Western Kentucky is a dangerous team, it's because you were backed up and you were in a position to get an interception and be down 14-7 or 21-7 with 2 plays going your way. You know what I'm saying? So these games are a lot closer than you might think. So yeah. So, and I somebody commented on the YouTube channel about that. So you can do that 2 ways. You can say Mikhail did exactly what he was supposed to do. Put his receiver in a position to make a play, or he threw into coverage.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why I say I will give Mikhail the benefit on this one, because I think they were in a position of the Braden Smith one was dangerous. I think the Des Fitzpatrick was intentional. Like my guy can go get that over them.
Yeah, but I think you're talking too about the one on the run. He was on the run. He was rolling out to the right and kind of floated it. Should have been a pick. And that's why I'm not totally dismissing what the texter says here, because if he throws that pick, you're going, what the crap were you doing? That was one of those where I would have of course when I first read those, I'm like whatever. But then I'm like, yeah, but I feel you a little bit. Because if he throws that interception, I would have been in my house like, what the crap did you see? He didn't throw the interception. And I'm going, what did you see? Like I'm like, what? Who are you throwing that ball to? You know, it's just kind of like you lofted it to a Western guy, and he just couldn't catch it.
I mean, listen, there are going to be poor throws. There are going to be interceptions.
Sure. And let me, I mean, you know, I'm on that side of it. I'm just saying, like, I get. I mean, if those are picked, you know, then you're like,
I didn't think his decision making was reckless. If that's what you're saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, even though they didn't get picked, like I said, I again, you almost have to add, you know, good check marks to him making the quick decisions to put the ball out of bounds and not take those sacks and not try to run out of trouble. So overall, I thought he controlled the offense very well. You know, grade wise, I'd still put you in. Actually, grade wise, he's going to end up in a B- category, but that's a different part of the conversation.
Right.
But yeah, like I said, I saw like I said, there was some danger in a couple passes and there was some trust in a couple passes, and I think he, you know, that's game one. I mean, there's no question he's gonna have to play better.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I'm sure, but I thought he was solid, man. I mean, at the end of the day, you're talking what did he end up with, Brian? 300, Mikhail, 330 some. I mean, like that's a heck of a game, though. I mean, you know, like, I mean, it wasn't. Yeah, I mean,
343, three touchdowns, 1 interception.
Yeah, so
19 for 34.
See, and I feel terrible now that I done gave him a B, and I know people are yelling like, "What do you mean a B?" And I mean a B because even if you were an A++++, those last 2 or those last 3 runs out of bounds towards the end of the game, that took a lot of credit away. That cannot happen, Steve.
Yeah,
you cannot get leg whipped. You know, with 20 seconds in the game, you cannot get leg whipped against a steel fence 5 yards outside the sideline. You're not even allowed to go out of bounds on that play. Not to mention, like I said, I kind of said it on my post game. They were moving the ball right up the middle on handoffs. You have 340 yards. You've had a good night. I think it's only right that you let Javian and your offensive line, you know, get a couple stabs. If y'all are going to run it late, get a couple stabs and punch it in end zone. I didn't like him pulling those late. And again, you and I had this conversation. In no way, shape, form, or fashion do I feel like that, you know, it can cause any team animosity, right? But when you have teams like this, you don't even want the possibility creeping in. You know what I'm saying? And I just, like I said, if I'm the third string running back, I think Javian Hawkins should have got those last 2 touches. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And running back's family at home, and you know, everybody probably said, "No, Mikhail, you got to get those up." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But it was odd, man. And with Miami on the horizon, you know, with this season too, you have to remember this. We don't, you know, if you're playing Western and then we know we got EKU next week or Murray next week, then I think you're more apt to, okay, even from Coach Satterfield, because I kind of on that last drive or so, I'm like, why are they in the game? You know, it's like, why? But I also kind of was like, yeah, but you don't have the 2 or 3 tune-ups. If you're Kentucky, you know, I mean, the 3 high school teams you play. But like you don't have the tune-ups, man. You know.
Yeah, but
so
even the plays you were running though, like I could take your point on the maybe you wanted to run one more pitch option, but you end up keeping that one. Like I said, the last couple of plays, and here's the thing, Steve. This is not inside information at all. He whipped his leg. He's limping today after the way his leg hit that fence. He's limping today, and he's doing 10 times more treatment than he would have had to do.
Sure, I mean,
had he
I
not ran
don't
those
want to
extra
see
plays.
him get tackled, but I mean, I don't want to see him get hit at all down that stretch. I
Right.
mean, but I will say he took some licks in this game and kept playing. I mean, they're because that's kind of my biggest is like, okay, you're almost waiting for every time he got up. But here's the thing, and I love Mikael Cunningham, but he limps a lot.
Yeah, you and
And
I
like,
talked about it last
yeah,
year.
it's like he's a limper, and when he gets up, he kind of, it's like you're 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 fine, So, yeah, I mean, I think, but no, I mean, overall, I mean, yeah, and listen, let me just say, I agree with what you're saying. Down, just hand the ball off. Just hand it off. It doesn't matter. Look, but I know he wanted to get in the end zone.
He wanted to get in the end zone.
42 looks a lot sexier than 35. I'm fine with all that.
Mm.
But I get from Coach Satterfield's point of view that it's like, no, we don't have tune-ups here. We play Western and who had our attention. You know what I'm saying? Like Western, who is not just come in and kick the door in and leave. So we had them, and then we got Miami next week. College game day, ABC, 7:30. So like it was like, I don't have time to. Well, let's get everybody in the game. Like
right.
Let's like I need my guys. We need to learn some. That's why I was kind of surprised.
But you didn't want any Puma snaps.
I mean, yeah, no, me, yes, but I get why he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing. I mean, that's why I was kind of surprised that they didn't almost go for a field goal.
Right.
Like, almost set it up. Like third, let's just go ahead and run it.
See, and I was thinking about it, and then I'm just like, yeah, but here's the thing. It's Western Kentucky. You got a good relationship. You don't even want that to be misconstrued. It's almost like you want to send somebody over there. Go ask that coach. Is it cool if we put up a field goal?
No, I totally disagree with that because you wouldn't have kept running plays. He was trying to get in the end zone, Marcus.
See, I don't know.
You don't know. They ran 4 plays within the last minute of the game.
Yeah, but we're talking about halfback dives. That don't really count.
You could have took a knee. Like, I mean,
no, because I think the knee would have been disrespectful. What year was that when we took a knee on like the 1 yard line and it was just like,
Bobby in Kentucky. I think that
is that when that happened?
Yes, I think though is all that happened there, and I think he probably told Helton this when they shook hands because he talked to him for a second. I think it was just common sense, like. I'm trying to get as many plays as we can get. Like,
right.
That's not a hey, I'm trying to punch it in on you.
Yeah, but see that's
cool. We're cool.
That's what I thought made the Mikael look kind of bad. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and that's why I didn't stop you and say that's on Mikael or that's on Satterfield because that's why I agree with you because I do think that you've got to get rid of it or you've got to hand it off there. That's on you to kind of keep yourself healthy unless you feel like I can walk it in here.
And the gentleman element of just punch it on in.
Yeah. Let me go to the phone lines real quick.
Go ahead.
Alex, welcome in, man. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, great show. So
Appreciate
the only thing I'm disappointed in is, man, y'all should have smashed that punter. Man, that y'all should have smashed him. Like if I was on this team, like we would have been talking in the locker room, and like, bro, like I might have to put the paws on you in public if you do that again. Like you don't like that. Like come on, dude. Like we saw the replay.
But see, the team didn't see it though.
But they will.
Yeah. They've heard about it, absolutely. Yeah. But I'm talking about the replay of when he muffled the punt. Like I saw the replay. Like bro, like you had popcorn butter on your fingers, man. Like come on, dude. Like I saw the replay. But anyway, that's not what I called for. I called because. So I really liked the performance that I saw. The only thing that was – so here's how I look at it. I watched the North Carolina game. And North Carolina, I thought was going to lose that game up until the fourth quarter, and they scored 21 points at the end of the game as if, they had full control over the game the whole time. And I left watching that game like, man, I don't know if North Carolina just turned it on at the end or if there was or Syracuse just got burned out or whatever. Because because I just thought Syracuse was going to pull through. But what I want to see Louisville perform, because there were a lot of close games that happened, like freaking Florida State lost to freaking Georgia Tech, which is crazy. So there were a lot of disappointing things that I saw, and I'm trying to figure out what did I want to see Louisville do. I really do not. I wanted them to score points, obviously, and I think the defense played exceptionally well, especially with the offense in the fourth quarter having, 2 possessions of 3 and out. I was very disappointed in that, because if we would have been able to score or not even do like 3 and outs, push it down the field, let's kick a field goal. Like, I was really disappointed in those 3 and outs, because I don't think unless Western Kentucky's defensive line is just a lot better, which they got some big boys on the defensive line. But yeah, I was disappointed in the 3 and outs. Is what I'll say. At the end of the game, I don't think they ended as strong as they ended halftime very well with 21 points in the second quarter, but they didn't end the game the way I wanted it to see them in. Those 2 3 and out possessions are disappointing in my eyes. But defense got to stop on one of them. But they're tired, so that's how I looked at it. But thank you guys, I'll listen.
All right, appreciate it.
Appreciate the call. I mean, look, again, 3 and outs are going to happen. I'm not ready to crush the punter. Rain, freshman, nerves. Not this time. I can't tell we have a bad punting unit. I'm not ready to say that.
Yeah. Without the yelling at your parents in the crowd, I think it would really.
Are we just assuming it's your parents?
I'm hoping, because if it wasn't, if it was just a random fan,
you're right.
Then I can't let you be on the team ever. Like I can't watch you play. Yeah, I can't watch you be on the team. I'll have to write letters to Satterfield, like, Coach Satterfield, Coach, I can't keep watching games.
Listen, you gonna boycott?
Yes. I will stop watching. I will get on Twitter and I'll be like, well, I'm never watching the Louisville football again.
You gonna turn into that guy?
Yeah, I'll be total dead to me.
While you're watching the football. When we come back, Big Ten. When we come back, we're talking grades. When we come back, maybe a little game day and going over our picks. Last commercial break, Middays with Marcus Maven on 93.9 The Ville.
Hey, Cards fans. Great Flood Brewing in the Highlands and Great Flood Middletown are both open and ready to serve. Whether you're in the mood for a cold beer on our extended patio in the Highlands or a delicious burger or cocktail at our Middletown location, check us out at greatfloodbrewing.com for more info on all the options we have for you. For a limited time special, mention this ad out in Middletown for $2 off your first appetizer. Thanks again for all your support, and we hope to see you soon. Go Cards! For more information, visit us at www.greatfloodbrewing.com.
Hey, this is Steve Rummage, and I have one question for you. What good is having that beautiful home with that beautiful view if you can't see through the grit and grime of your windows? Or every time you try to open them, it feels like an extensive workout. Let's face it, you and your home deserve better. That's why I'm here to tell you about Windows Plus. They have the best free lifetime transferable warranty, best installation in town, quality products, doors, windows, siding, and gutters. They've also been voted most efficient in 2019 and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating, including all 5-star reviews, which means they're exactly what you've been looking for. So go visit them at 11501 Plantside Drive in Louisville, Kentucky, or call 502-494-0120. Again, that's Windows Plus, so make the call.
We're proud to partner with our favorite go-to caffeinated beverage, Focus. Not Focus with an F, but with a PH.
When the reality of COVID-19 hit, our friends at Focus donated over 200,000 cans of Focus to nearly 400 hospitals across the U.S. to keep those on the front lines fueled.
And good news, now you can find Focus at more Kroger's, Thornton's, Liquor Barn, and Party Mart, as well as all the usual spots like Rainbow Blossom, Heine Brothers, Paul's Fruit Market, and CVS.
Or save 15% when you use code ESPN15 at www.drinkfocus.com. Focus, Focus. Try it today.
Something on your mind? Hit us up on the UPS Jobs text line, 3831 939.
At Baptist Health, we've been caring for some of you virtually.
And that works well in a lot of cases.
But now, we want to welcome you back to our doctor's offices, hospitals, and clinics.
We're going above and beyond to keep you safe.
So you can feel good about scheduling that procedure.
Visiting your family doctor.
Or seeking care in an emergency.
At Baptist Health, we're all about safety, centered on you.
Somewhere out there, there's a man on a park bench eating his 500th PB&J. He has no idea Papa John's has new Papadillas that are way better than a boring sandwich. With Papa John's best meats, cheeses, and veggies hand-folded into a crispy flatbread crust. Someone better tell that man. Get a new Papadilla in 1 of 4 flavors for just $6. Better ingredients, better pizza, better than a sandwich. Papa John's. Not valid with discounts, fees, and taxes. Prices may vary.
Are you ready to sell your home? Well, there couldn't be a better time. Houses are going for top dollar and selling quickly. You need to call Jill Blessinger with Keller Williams. She has a team of professionals that will help you sell your home quickly and get the most for it. She is a professional home stager and photographer. And when you're ready to buy, she works with Becky Bleemel of Caliber Home Loans. She makes the loan process very simple. And if you mention you heard this on Middays with Marcus Maven or ESPN, your appraisal is absolutely free. So give Jill a call today at 502-773-0546. That's 502-773-0546. And let her help you today.
Mark Ennis here telling you about my friends at Bosch Lawn Care. For the past few years, I've trusted Bosch Lawn Care with my yard maintenance at my house. That's mowing, weed eating, trimming bushes, cleaning mulch installation, and much more. Get yourself out of hours of work in the yard when you could be kicking back and enjoying time with your family and friends. Call 833-2GET-CUT. That's 833-243-8288 or visit them online at BoschLawnCare.com. Trust the lawn experts I trust. They're professional, affordable, Bosch Lawn Care.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
Welcome back. Welcome back. It's Middays with Marcus Maven, 8150. 93.9 is the number. 93.9 is the station. Speaking of, Papa's got a brand new bag. Lamar Jackson is getting better and better and better. My God, he looks like he's getting better. And here's the thing. The agitation or rush for people to stop talking about he's just a running back is getting funnier and funnier and funnier. Because you want that to just go away. You want that to go away so bad. But it's like it's not going away because when you spend 2 and 3 years calling a quarterback a running back every day, all day long, you used to listen day after day after day for years, and then you would say, okay, well, quit saying he's more than a quarterback. No, you just keep on. You're just going to have to eat this one year after year after year. And I encourage everyone to keep on reminding people that he is not just a running back. That I do enjoy watching him. He was surgical. Yeah. Just he's elusive, man. Golly. I mean, just his arm talent mixed with his physical talent. I mean, his. Whew. I had a good time watching that. Oh, okay. So we didn't really address the game day. Is there not much to that one other than yes, yes, again, we are getting college game day. Mm. Hmm. Does that worry you? Look, that's not gonna be like pivotal game 4 of Clippers Lakers or something. Right. Jeez.
Louisville. I mean, just perfect. So with that said, kudos to the ACC as well, because the Virginia Tech-Virginia game was postponed. The ACC did a great job at moving things around quickly. They got, I know you said Boston College Duke, but I think actually is what they did is they moved that game back. Duke is now going to play Virginia this week. They switched it around. I know it's probably not on there yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they just switched it around. But, like, they switched, like, the games quickly, and we're like, okay, this is how we're going to rearrange the schedule. And they really put out a nice blueprint.
They did a great job of switching games, open dates. You know, we can add a third team in if we need to. We can mix open dates. We can change. We can put different schools against each other. And again, we're talking about mostly COVID scares, like contact tracing scares, from what I heard. But still being proactive to just move around. They did a great job.
Yeah. So it was. So that was awesome to see. And no, Texter. 7:30. They moved the game to 7:30. So, So 7:30, man. Like, I'm looking forward to it. Now you have to think in the next couple days, all signs pointing towards the Big Ten's going to return to play.
Are they going to return to play?
Looks like.
Do you think that's really going to happen?
17th. Yeah, I mean, I do with this one now. I mean, when you read it. And you hear that now all the presidents have said they're on board to play, whereas before there were 2 or 3 of them were saying we wouldn't play even if they come back. The report this morning was all the presidents have said we'll play. So they're talking, the dates that's throwing out there is October 17th.
What changed the most in your opinion?
This weekend? I don't know. I watched all these other colleges.
Everybody but their programs playing football.
Right. I watched all these other teams play. We got to play. Yeah, absolutely. Like,
I'm not watching. Okay, let's hit the picks real quick.
All right, what do we have, Brian?
All right, so we had the Western Louisville game. We all picked Louisville. That when we did that was an 11.5 point spread. So I believe we all covered on that one.
Yep.
We all missed the Georgia Tech Florida State game.
Yeah.
Because Georgia Tech pulled off the 16-13 win, and Florida State was 12.5 point favorites, and we all picked Florida State.
What did you think about that game? Or you didn't get to see much of that, did you, Steve?
Because it was delayed, so I actually did get to see quite a bit of that. Because when I come home from my son's game, they were still on delay, and they only played a couple minutes.
What was your opinion on that one?
Listen, I hate doing this to a kid. Blackman just is not good.
Right.
And every year they keep putting him back in there. And 3 different coaches have put him in there. So I'm like,
to me, like I said, he's an intangible guy, but when it comes down to it, just you're not making the right plays.
I did enjoy seeing Norvell and Florida State get beat, though. But we're one step closer to Chubba Purdy versus Louisville.
Right.
Because Jordan Travis didn't look much better when they put him in the game. So,
all right. So currently we were all 1-1. And going into the Clemson game, we all picked Clemson as 33-point favorites over Wake. We all lost that one because Clemson won 37-13 against Wake Forest.
Jeez.
Told you, Steve.
I know. Well, I didn't know they were going to pull Trevor Lawrence in the third quarter. Like, I'm sorry.
But then you thought that backup quarterback was supposed to be so awesome?
Well, look, I hope I didn't see him, but everybody says he's the next best thing. So we'll see. Sure he is. I hope he's not.
Next game is the Notre Dame Duke game. Notre Dame was favored by 20. I picked Notre Dame. You guys picked Duke. Notre Dame won 27-13, so you guys win that one.
Okay. All right.
So now I am 1-3, and you guys are 2-2.
Okay.
The next game is Syracuse, North Carolina. At the time, we had North Carolina with a 23-point spread, and we all picked Syracuse, and North Carolina covered the spread, 31-6 win over Syracuse. So you guys are 2-3, and I'm 1-4.
That was such a late cover.
We're having
the Ravens over the Browns. We all picked that. We were just doing the NFL games, I believe, straight up is what we talked about.
Yep.
It was a 7.5-point spread. The Ravens would have covered it anyway, but we all got that. And then the last one, I bring it back to even because I picked the Saints and you guys both picked the Bucks, and that made us even for the week with three. All but I think we only had 2 wins each.
Fair enough.
2 and 4.
I told you guys the Bucks aren't ready yet.
Is Lamar taking the Baker Mayfield matchup personal?
I think so, man. Like I mean, why wouldn't you? Like, dude won the Heisman over me, and then they picked him number 1. Like, come on.
Yeah, Lamar's not playing around with that one.
I know.
Got through a weekend, Steve. Now, as long as we don't get any new news to shake things up, we're ready to roll. Congratulations again. Shout out to the University of Louisville staff. Between the medical staff recommendations and it's probably got to be more of a skeleton crew getting things done over at Cardinal Stadium. For all accounts, it went very smooth. People were very comfortable and would enjoy the experience again and again and again if given the opportunity. I can't.